What the heck is this? Look at this train of cars all hooked together. I think that's the longest train of cars I've ever seen hooked together.
Good morning. I'm in Austin, Texas, and today is the day that I continue part 2, phase 2 of my North American tour. So I'm packing up the last of my things this morning. I'm at Stan's house where I've been staying in one of his rooms and headed north. I think I'll head probably to Lubbock today and then continue on to Albuquerque. So that's the plan. Some of my best ideas happen in the middle of the night, like at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's when I wake up and I have a light bulb moment. And so that's what happened just a night or two ago. So prior to going to sleep, Stan had walked past the bedroom just as I was getting ready for bed. And he had just finished a book because he loves to read books. And this book was, I don't recall, it was a story about a man who lived in this foreign country, and it gave you a good idea of the culture, the history of the country, and a perspective of a person living there for a long period of time. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I had my light bulb moment, and I woke up and I had this idea for the step van. I was looking for something dealing with books in connection with serving tea in the van, and it came to me that I could do travel books. So I started getting this idea of a traveling book exchange. So people that visit the van would come and bring old travel books. Maybe they've gone to, let's say South Africa, and they have a Lonely Planet book for South Africa like Stan has. And so they can come and bring this old book from somewhere they've been and exchange it for another book. Like maybe they're looking for ideas for a vacation, an upcoming trip. And inside of the step van, I'll have hundreds of books, so they can go and choose one from Zimbabwe or choose one from Peru and maybe talk about traveling there, or maybe it's a place I've gone, or maybe they've gone to a place and I can learn about their country or where they've traveled to. So it'll be a place to talk about travel, talk about nomadic living, and a resource and a place to get some books. So I thought that would be just a really brilliant idea to bring in my passion for travel and connect it together with a love for reading and books, and something that I can do to connect with people on the road and also serve tea while we're discussing travel and reading books. So that's the idea that I came up with. I think it's pretty brilliant. And if you like it, let me know your thoughts. The morning after I had this brilliant idea for a traveling book exchange, I mentioned this in excitement to Stan at breakfast. And so later that day and over the next day, I didn't realize he was doing this. He started collecting some of his old travel books to give me a starter library. How generous is that? I've been staying here for like 4 months at Stan's house, which is just so incredibly helpful to me and just wonderful. I just can't explain how thankful I am to Stan for letting me come and stay at his house and him caring for me during my surgery. So as a parting gift for me leaving today, he just gave me several, probably about 8 or 9 of these travel books, some Lonely Planet guides for various places in Africa that he's gone, and some scenic drives through Texas, so that I have just a small little collection of books to start my little library exchange. So in the future, I hope to have a place set up inside of the step van. When I come through your city with the step van, I hope that you'll come to the traveling book exchange and bring some travel books that you no longer need and no longer want, that are just gathering some dust, and come visit me and get inspired to travel, find some interesting books. Maybe it's a book on Tanzania, or maybe you're going to do a summer, well, maybe not summer road trip to Texas, maybe a nice fall road trip to Texas, and you can check out the wildflowers that are apparently blooming everywhere today. So I'm hoping later today actually to catch some wildflowers. I'm hoping here within a month or so to be able to start inviting people into the step van. I'm super excited about this, and I'm planning on traveling around the United States during the remainder of 2017. to a lot of the big cities, to national parks, and then I'm going to be leaving twice on international trips. In September I'm going with Stan and a group of 6 people over to Spain and Portugal, and going to be walking the Camino de Santiago, which is this sort of sacred pilgrimage walk for 3 weeks, and walking, I don't know what it is, like 200 kilometers. It's a pretty significant distance. It's probably 4 hours, 5 hours of walking every day. And then in winter, probably November, December, I'm headed over to Asia. I want to go back and I want to go to Myanmar. Myanmar is a new country that's just opened up just a few years ago to the public, and it's pretty much untouched. They're just starting to get some hotels and restaurants in there for travelers, so it's sort of a raw experience. And it's just north of Thailand, which I love, so I'm planning on flying into Bangkok for a little bit of time, up to Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and then north across the border into Myanmar. So I'm really excited to go check that out, and then probably see some other countries in that area. So that'll give me maybe 7 countries this year, and then traveling around probably a dozen states here in the US this year. So it's a great year, 2017. I'm excited for the step van. I'm excited today to hit the road for part 2 of my North American tour. This is the room that I've been renting from Stan for the last 4 months. It's a beautiful room with custom cabinetry. It sort of hangs from the wall so you can get underneath it and store things easily. For those of you who have been trying to interest me in a Murphy bed for my step van, this is a Murphy bed. So I've been sleeping in this Murphy bed for the last 4 months. So a little bit familiar with that. About to put up the Murphy bed and clean up the room before I head out. Stan came out to inspect the step van prior to my leaving. I think it was a safety check, but I think he just wanted to see what I purchased and how I have it set up. I'm so grateful to Stan. Thank you so much for everything. You have just been fantastic. I've been here for 4 months. He took care of me through my surgery and the little scare I had after the surgery going to the emergency room.
Yeah, so, I poisoned you.
Well, I was the one that went after the stuff in the fridge that I probably shouldn't have. So that was all on me. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Stan. Really appreciate it.
I'm just eating my karma burgers.
He's definitely racking up some positive karma points here this year, so I really appreciate it.
Come back in.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, bro. Okay. My first disaster. I hit Stan's mailbox on my way out. I am so sorry, Stan.
Oh, look! Let he who is without sin. Back up. Now, just back way back.
I destroyed his mailbox. That's my parting gift. This is what I've done. One last stop here before I go out of town. Actually, 2 stops. I need to stop at Lowe's and get some stainless steel bolts and nylock nuts to put the license plates on the step van. And then I need to get some fuel, and then I'm headed out of town. I just wish that I would have departed Stan's on a better note. Thankfully, he's very understanding about this. I'll be paying to replace his mailbox and get him set up there. But still, I wanted to depart on a positive note. I cleaned his bathroom there, cleaned the bedroom, put all the stuff in the laundry, just trying to leave on a really good positive note with a nice dinner last night, and just unfortunately, last couple of minutes I clipped his mailbox. It was just a little bit too close to the step van when I was backing up, and I didn't see it. Got to mount the license plates now. Alright, all done. Well, this is the damage that was done. A scrape from here all the way to the back and along this edge here. But there's no other dents on the vehicle. It looks just pristine until my damage that I just did. I'm going to hit the road, head up to Lubbock.
Lubbock, Texas. It's about 5:30 in the evening. I started at probably about 9 o'clock this morning, so that's 8.5 hours of driving, about 20-minute break for lunch. That's quite the drive. Weather here is spectacular, really nice. I'm going to go try to find some dinner, and then I need to get online, edit a video, and get it uploaded, and relax for the evening. I've been fighting a wind all day coming up here. That's 8.5 hours of driving directly into the wind, or nearly directly into the wind, and a slight uphill. This is the worst fuel mileage that I've had. I just calculated it, and it came out to be 11.43. So, well, that's uphill and going directly into the wind. When I did this the opposite direction, going downhill with the wind, I was getting 18, so I guess it shouldn't be a surprise.